I would say that corporations have dominated our culture so much, and they've kind of, I would just say, brainwashed, the population, especially in the U.S., to believe strongly in free market capitalism and to oppose anything that even looks a little bit like, socialism.
I'd have a slight criticism of what you said. I think that when it comes down to the actual issues, it's not necessarily that people are being brainwashed. The media, for example, was very overwhelmingly pro-Hillary Clinton last election. In that sense, the media was, it's almost like free campaign advertising, an entire media structure, which is basically to shame one type of voter. Think about all the money that would cost to have a massive campaign where you essentially mobilize nearly all of the media to your defense and to shame the opposition. A lot of in countries, I'm not saying it's this extreme, but a lot of times people say elections were complete frauds. Not necessarily if that the votes were frauds, but that the media was dispatched overwhelmingly to side with one type of political interest, and that no side of the other political interest was given a fair hearing in the media. You can say whatever you want about Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, but in this case, that is a very, very powerful force. They definitely came out very strongly in Clinton. I think that it just didn't matter this time, but usually it matters if you have the media mobilized.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But one other thing I found, and I think this kind of illustrates the point I was trying to make pretty well. So I want to talk about, France, versus the U.S. So here's a law. Here's a paragraph from HuffPo. So by law, campaign expenses are subjected to a maximum ceiling, and spending in excess of that is illegal. It's in France. The state also subsidizes candidates. It gives about 8 million euros, half of the maximum amount of expenses allowed in the first round, to those who obtain more than 5% of the votes in the first round, and about 800,000 to those who do not make the 5% cut. So French politicians are therefore not enslaved special interests or super PACs that there in the U.S. Televised political ads are banned. So now let's look at what happened, in France 2017. What happened there was, France is a country that's far more skeptical of capitalism in general than the U.S. is, right? I would say that France is, very skeptical of capitalism, probably more skeptical than any other, Western country. But so I was just reading the other day about how outside of Paris, there are lots of towns still have communist mayors, right? You still have mayors from the Communist Party, which I thought was hilarious. France generally is going to be a more left-wing country than the U.S. Plus, they don't have corporate money just flooding candidates like they do in the U.S. So you would expect that left-wing candidates would do very well. But then let's look at the 2017 election there. The actual left-wing candidate only got 20% of the vote. He got a little less than 20% of the vote in the first round. And the second round turned out to be a fascist versus a neoliberal. A neoliberal who's probably even to the right of Hillary Clinton, or probably about where she is.
He's the only leader of a Western country that, if you look at the political compass, would put him in the bottom right. He's closer to Friedman or Hayek. Actually, he's a true neoliberal. If you talk about Friedman and Hayek as the archetypical neoliberal, he's basically there if you look at his political compass.
Yeah. So why is it that even if you take out corporate money, and even if we're in a pretty left-wing country, why is it that a left-wing candidate only gets 20% of the vote? His name is Jean-Luc Mélenchon. I believe he only won even in Paris, he only won one district, Saint-Denis, which is basically the ghetto. So he did well with very poor people and with immigrants. But then outside of that, even in a very left-wing country, he just couldn't, get many votes. And I think that's kind of incredible. So what that tells me is that even if the U.S. gets rid of all this corporate money, it's not going to change that much.
Their Socialist Party, they just had, what was his name? Yeah, Hollande. Basically, a lot of people have kind of turned against him because of they had large things like capital flight, for example, and really just a sluggish economy that was very much lagging behind a lot of other economies after the big European crisis that happened a few years ago. And so people kind of blamed a lot of his left-wing policies of high taxes, kind of more going after businesses and kind of trying to regulate them as kind of the enemy. So I think that was the major reason of the resurgence in neoliberalism and also the surge in far-right politics.
Yeah, I'll give you that, but I feel I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean,
what do you think?
I followed Hollande's presidency fairly closely, and I just, he was he turned into such a neoliberal disappointment, and approval rating plummeted as a result. I feel like Hollande's presidency should have energized the far left more than destroyed it, just like because he ran as a left-wing candidate. 75% proposed tax on the on the wealthy, etc. But he turned into nothing of the sort, just like many center-left candidates in Europe tend to do. So I feel like he should have energized the Mélenchon, voters more. I don't know. I can see it both ways.
I think he kind of failed both sides, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I, of course, believe that left-wing policies usually lead to bad economies, so...
Sweden, it's just terrible.
Yeah, but Sweden's social capitalism.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the ideal system may just probably be neoliberal social capitalism.
I can see that.
Just no regulations, or like very slim regulations and slim kind of government involvement in the economy, but just have like social safety net.
Yeah, as long as there's basic income, I'm fine with getting rid of so many regulations.
Basic income is basically invented by neoliberals, so.
I know, but it's the one thing that you can get lefties like me on board for. Yeah. I'll go on with your neoliberal project as long as I get my fucking check in the mail every month.